Welcome to the Immortal Afro YouTube channel. Content review. Get ready for the next video. Okay, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. Hey there everybody, this is your Immortal Afro Josh, and welcome to another installment of Content Reviews. Today, I am reviewing Thrill of a Hunt, a Nick Hardy adventure. Now this is a book I've had for quite a while now, a couple of years to be exact, and I think it's high time that it deserved a good, healthy reviewing. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into A Thrill of a Hunt, a Nick Hardy adventure by Jeffrey Trudeau. Now I intend to keep this book review spoiler free, and I will be breaking it down into 3 separate categories in which I'll give my opinion on separately. So without further ado, let's get started. So what type of book are we dealing with here? Well, as I've read it, there's only 81 pages, which will put it in the short story bracket. And it has been stated by the author that this is the beginning of a series of books, which means that this particular book will be the foundation of an entire experience to come. Now, right away, the book does an exceptional job in describing the natural elements of Central Africa, where our main character, Nick Hardy, is being exposed to the elements. From the unrelenting glare from the sun's intense shine, to the lush foliage and beauty of a nearby rainforest. Every new environment that the main character is introduced to is described in great detail by the author, which is great for setting up a perfect image for the reader to reconstruct in their imagination. The setting execution for The Thrill of a Hunt, a Nick Hardy adventure, gets a 95% approval rating by yours truly.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Now the setting for a story is indeed very important, but the characters that inhabit that environment are even more so. Now with this book being the first of many in the series, exactly how were the characters written, introduced, and developed throughout it? Well, very well. Character development in this book is fully realized in my opinion. Our main protagonist Nick Hardy makes very noticeable changes and transitions in his attitudes and actions, especially when he finds himself in certain situations with different characters or environments. They reflect well on his character as he becomes more attentive on the situations he finds himself in. Another character named Daniel is also fleshed out pretty well. Even though this character had a pretty established personality out the gate, it didn't stop the author from giving him a little bit more to work with to fully flesh out his attitude. It created some pretty interesting dialogue between these two characters within this interesting environment. The supporting cast have very minor roles in this book, but I think it's because they have more important shoes to fill later down the line, possibly in the next couple of books. That's not to say that they didn't do their job. While the supporting cast was pretty brief, they did a good job setting up the rest of the arc and the story for the main characters to follow. So, in conclusion, the character execution, in my opinion, for The Thrill of the Hunt, a Nick Hardy adventure, is also a 95%.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Now, we know you can have cool characters or an amazing environment for them to run around in, but what's the reason? What's the purpose? What's the story? The real question is, does this book have an engaging narrative that can keep a curious reader reading it? Well, while there are a few predictable scenarios that present themselves in this book, it doesn't take away from any of the action, any of the intrigue, or any of the story whatsoever. The story does a pretty good job of juggling its clever sense of humor with more serious scenarios with lasting stakes. And the dialogue in between all of it does a very good job of complementing the story. The story, in my opinion, gets a incomplete. Bruh. The story, it left me on a cliffhanger, which is good. I just want to see more. Talking to you, Jeffrey. It's been a while. The rest, my dear viewers, I leave up to you. I think this story so far is a worthy investment of your time and interest. If you want to sink your teeth into some independent work by authors or creators, or just want to get away from the mainstream form of entertainment by those comics or movies, then I highly recommend The Thrill of a Hunt, a Nick Hardy adventure. It's a good buy for the price if you want to support something by an independent author. And if you're one of those lazy readers who think you can't last more than 10 minutes opening a book, don't worry. It's only like 85 pages. You should be able to cover that. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to check it out for yourself. Well guys, that'll do it for this review of The Thrill of a Hunt, a Nick Hardy adventure. If you like this review, leave a thumbs up. If you dislike it, leave a thumbs down. If you have something to say, there's a comment section below. I'm your Immortal Afro Josh. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good one.